Ryan, Leaky Trooper, and today we are doing two things. First of all, we're going to be working on our Clone Wars MOC, the Crashed Venator MOC, putting down a ton of clones in a really cool scene. And then second, we're going to be adding the Sarlaac pit and the Skiff to our Tatooine MOC. It's not the Skiff and Sarlaac pit we want, but it's the one that LEGO gave us. Maybe it'll be bad, maybe it'll be good, maybe somewhere in between. We shall see. But with that, let's go! So as we revisit the Crashed Venator MOC, we have to fill in this middle section here. I'm going to start by extending the hangar, which means I have to build two more of these side modular pieces. And as we extend the middle, we're going to need a lot more clones. But we did some restocking, so we should be good. But first, we got a new droid to replace this one with, because this guy's wrong. But which is the right droid? And we're going to finish the video by planning for the next phase of Tatooine by building this set and at least having a temporary Sarlaac pit and Skiff so we can kind of gauge what it's going to look like. These aren't the final Skiffs or Sarlaac pit, just a placeholder. So stick around to the end for that. So we finally are getting another R7 with this brand new Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, set number 75401. And I know we have a tendency to complain about the price of Legos, but 290 pieces, 3 minifigures, $44? Come on, man! But we are getting an Ahsoka, an Anakin, and finally, an updated R7, which on the used market, these guys were getting really expensive. So, I don't know, $44 for this little thing. Pretty adventurous. And 3 bags. Alright, the first bag has the Ahsoka Mini. This is the much younger Ahsoka because she's got the little foots, the little feetsuses. Alright, after bag 1, on to bag 2. Oh, and this is the one I was waiting for. R7 droid, which you haven't seen in a long time. Alright, here we are after 2 bags. Let's open the third bag, get this puppy finished. And our last minifigure, of course, is Anakin. His legs are a little longer than Ahsoka's, which is good. He has 1 lightsaber, and Ahsoka has 2. Alright, here it is. Here is your $44 ship with 3 minifigures. Scam! Scam, rip off. But, got me an R7. Alright, I don't know who you are, R something, but you're out. R7 is in. We now have the actual R7 droid in the hangar bay control room. And now we're going to extend this Clone Wars scene by moving it out of the MOC into our Lobricks building area, where we can add more clones, helping Jesse confront Ahsoka and Rex, murder droids, and generally make the entire scene bigger, better, badder. So, let's get to it. Alright, now that we finished the base of the scene, now we have to put on all of the gray tiles to get the flooring of the scene down. We have to have the patterns matching because this area is going to connect directly into the front of the hangar bay for this Clone Wars scene. And in the scene, some friendly droids use a hangar bay control panel that raises the middle section of the hangar bay, like raising ships, and this helps Rex and Ahsoka escape. And in the show Victory or Death, they only show one of these control panels, but I assumed they would have one on both sides, so I'm adding a second control panel to this extension of the hangar bay. Alright, that does it for the tile work in the next section of the hangar bay. Now we have to build these hangar bay doors that separates kind of the open to space part of the hangar bay from the where I guess they store the ships or whatever. But we have to build 2 more of these guys for each side. So let's do it! Alright, the last build piece to add are the hangar bay force field shield doors, or whatever you want to call them. Oh geez. All right, there we go. Now the last thing we have to do is put in a butt ton of clones. So where are we getting all these clones? So here's our minifigure staging area. Here are multiple boxes of clones. So let's open these up, get the clones out, and then put them on the board. All right, we have all the clones in the staging area. And I have an assistant here with me. He's going to help me put the clones onto the main mock because we got a lot of them.
Yes.
How many clones do we got to put down here?
I think 24.
24.
Additional clones. So.
And I wanted to spread out the orange hat guys with the clone guys, or the regular white face clones.
Add a little bit of entropy to our placement here.
What's entropy?
It's the study of randomness in physics.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the only time you can ever get negative time. It's true.
Negative time.
Negative time.
You know, when you're building,
which is a scalar. It shouldn't be negative.
When I'm building Legos, I have a lot of negative time on my hands.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, so you're randomizing the clone placement.
I'm trying to put them in as randomly as possible here.
But episode, they're like perfectly lined up. They're like at attention, which is what you do right before you're gonna murder your friends.
I see. I'll have to keep that in mind next time I murder my friends.
Yeah, make sure you're in complete attention and ready to go.
Readiness! Ready, attention, gentlemen. Let's murder our friends. So what's going? Why are they killing this person again? What's the deal? Are they bad?
Yeah. So what happened was Emperor Palpatine, because you know he's the emperor.
I see.
And you got to do whatever your president or emperor says, even if they're a liar and full of crap.
Yeah.
And what he said was to Jesse. This is Jesse, the blue guy.
Jesse.
He was like, "Hey, Ahsoka is a Jedi, and Jedis are bad. They're enemies of the Empire.
The Empire, yeah.
So you have to murder them without a trial. Order 66. So Jesse's like, we got to murder Ahsoka. But then you got old Rex here. That's like he had his chip taken out.
He's de-chipped.
He's de-chipped. So he's like, no, we're not going to murder her. But all of these other guys still have their chips.
So
they're Order 66 chips.
I think we may have miscounted. There is still another row, but you know, we were out of troops. At least troops with helmets, because we de-helmeted all the other troops to get the helmet scene.
Yeah.
So
because all of these guys die, and we have to put their helmets on sticks where they bury them.
yeah, that's a lot of troops, though. I mean, that they're gonna go at it. This guy doesn't seem very. So they have their weapons raised?
No, they're kind of like whoop whoop. Whoop.
Yeah, yeah.
So Rex is like, Ahsoka, I do not want to kill all of my clone brethren. So maybe we shouldn't crash the ship. And she's like, no, they'll be fine.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
They'll be fine. But I mean, what's Jesse's up here trying to murk them both?
Yep.
It just seems like if Jesse just blew their heads off now, it would be, you know.
Well, he declares that Rex must be an enemy because he's protecting Ahsoka. Because he doesn't immediately kill her.
Makes sense. I mean,
Yep.
I would make the same assumption.
And who saves them are these droids over here. Right before they get murked, they drop the entire thing and these guys all fall over the place.
So let me get this straight. The Emperor had chips in the people to make them turn against him. But the robots, they didn't have any chips whatsoever.
No, the robots, you know, droids, they completely forgot that droids, you know,
existed.
Yeah.
On it.
I think I can put this back on the ship.
Yeah, and there is more clone. You can't actually see all of them.
And assistant, you kind of attached this whole thing and made it mills. It's all one big giant thing.
Mills.
Yeah, we actually used more pieces than what Mills would have used, I think.
But now I'm going to need your help to literally put this back on the Crashed Venator.
It's very large.
It's very large. Can we lift it? Like,
Well, it seems pretty solid. No Tatooine.
it's no Tatooine. No, there will never be another Tatooine. I'm
True.
afraid.
It's true.
Let's get this on the Crashed Venator. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. Oh. I just need to slide it in.
Oh my goodness. But wait a second. Ahsoka's there. But Ahsoka's there. What the? Oh, I can't handle that, man.
Those are two different. Never mind. Yeah. But look, there's that droid. That new droid that you have to pay $44 to get the set.
Yeah, that's really kind of a strange move by Lego. I mean, it's a cool droid. It's like, you know, green and red, kind of like Christmas colors, so.
So you think we have enough clones here, assistant?
I mean, it's quite a bit. I don't think, I mean, the hangar, we don't have enough room to extend the hangar back anymore, unfortunately. But it does give a good representation of the Venator hangar, I'd say. As well as, like, you know, you have your droids back there with that scene as they're about to, you know, shoot them off into space. You may have to extend your beautiful sidewalling there.
Oh yeah,
the hangars.
It's gonna go all the way out to here. So technically, once I'm done with this section, I'm supposed to build an entire another section of the Venator.
I see. I know. I do like. There are some scenes in here, that we have done in the previous episodes, such as the Darth Maul holding cell. I think Ahsoka gets him out of there or something. He is being held captive right there, so that's interesting.
And
So-
look, he's also there once again.
Oh my
Continue.
gosh, he's
Not
being
functioning.
transported. Is he actually in there?
That's a good question.
No, he's not.
Yeah, there's old Jesse. You can never quite see him because he's kind of snug up in there. So, assistant, what I have to do left, I have to build. I have these two things here. These fit nicely here. So I got to build the center top of this in the future because I want to get to Tatooine. And I have to finish the back of this off. And then we have to decide, do I keep building Venator or do I just say, hey, it's a MOC?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. That I don't exactly remember what the whole idea was. Essentially, it was this. This is the scene we wanted. It was the Crashed Venator with all of Ahsoka's troops, which is pretty cool. I think we were the first people to recreate it. Maybe the only people to recreate it out of Lego, but it's pretty sick. Of course, we have that vessel, which matches the scene, I'm sure. So it is pretty cool. But
my original vision was to build the entire Crashed Venator, which might be crazy.
actually, this scale, it could be challenging. We don't have a lot of space left in here, so who knows what we'll do. And especially with Tatooine coming back with the sail barge and all that, we've got some other things we could be working on, so who knows?
Right. Which reminds me, assistant, I want to build the Skiff, the $78 Skiff. I wanted to put the Skiff on Tatooine with the Sarlaac pit.
Unfortunately, in the scene, there's two skiffs.
Yes.
But we can probably get the side, just the skiff build itself, without the Sarlaac pit and all the figures for relatively cheap. So that's probably what we'll do.
Well, for today, it's just like a placeholder. I just want to see what it looks like with the sail barge. So let's build a Skiff.
Let's do it.
All right, so here is the Desert Skiff and Sarlaac pit, set number 75396 from Lego. Comes with a little Nein Numb exclusive minifigures, along with Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Lando in his getup. So I'm going to open this sucker, we're going to build it, and we're going to put it on the MOC. Well, this is interesting. I thought these handles would do more than just move these tentacles around. It doesn't control the maw of the Venus flytrap thing, which I hate. I don't like that. All right, that's it for bag 5, and we got the beginning of the Skiff. There's only one bag left. Bag 6. Let's see what we got. I think this is Nein Numb. I've been waiting for this. Did I pronounce them right? Nein Numb? Nein Numb? I don't know. Anyways, he's the pilot that flew with Lando when they blew up the second Death Star. So, kind of a cool figure. Here he is in all his glory. Pretty cool. Well, let's finish this thing. All right, right, so here is the Skiff set. I do not like the flag trap, but it's eating Boba Fett. There's the Skiff, Sarlaac pit. And now Assistant and I are going to put it on the MOC with the UCS Jabba sail barge, and see the figures fall over. That's bad. Well, we're going to put it on the sail barge and see what it looks like. All right, so here is the Skiff, the Sarlaac pit in front of the sail barge. I wanted to see what the actual Lego sets look like. The Sarlaac pit has some interesting stuff. It can wave its tentacles around. Anyone who's like old, like me, Leaky, doesn't like the Venus flytrap. We like the Sarlaac pit without that. So, you know, that's personal preference. But what do you think, Assistant?
Yeah, that's just objectively wrong. Like, it just doesn't look like that in the movie or the scene. You might notice that right here, we have a little bit of a build up going up towards this section. So I think that's going to probably continue around and about all the way around our UCS Jabba's sail barge. And what that is going to allow us to do is give us a 3 or 2 block up gap between the top of our, MOC and then the bottom of the base plates, which this is about 2 blocks deep. So I think with that, we should be able to get a very convincing Sarlaac pit that is more like the movie, a large kind of pit and an open field of sand. So that's the plan, although this is, somewhat good, and we can use some of the techniques they did use to build the pieces there. It's just not accurate to the movie. And the big thing with Tatooine is we were trying to get the scenes as accurate as possible to the movie, so that's what we're going to try to do here.
When you talk accuracy, Assistant, I mean, look at the Doolicker.
So accurate.
That is right out of the movie accuracy.
When it comes to these sets, I do think they're ludicrously overpriced, and I think the Sarlaac pit is just wildly inaccurate for the price you're paying. I mean, come on. This thing was $500, and it didn't really come with that great of a selection of figures. And if we do take a look, this came with an amazing selection of figures, and it's right around the same piece count. I understand it's the Master Builders series, but it was $350. I get it, it's a couple years later, but $500 for this build I don't feel is worth it, especially because with the Cantina build, it's very similar size, and it didn't just come with the Cantina, it did come with some extra side builds as well, and not to mention the multitude of figures that they had to not only create new molds for, but create brand new prints and designs for as well, so ended up coming in at a cheaper price point. So I think there is definitely a problem with Lego's pricing. Just like we were speaking earlier in the video, this is a brand new set that just came out at $45. And look at it, 290 pieces, 3 figures, no new molds. And this set up here, I know it's a little dark, that just came out last year with a brand new figure that required a new mold, and it was only $30. So that is very concerning, whether that be what the economic state of the world is, or maybe Lego's trying to add some more pricing to their sets. Things are getting more expensive, and that is unfortunate. But regardless of the price, it does look pretty good here on our Tatooine MOC.
So, Assistant, with all this price talk and all that, but what are we doing next on Tatooine?
So now that we have this Sarlaac pit installed, we do have an order coming in from Bricklink for pieces for the Jabba's Palace. So we are going to be working on the Jabba's Palace. What we're going to be focusing on that week is getting our tower completed and making this one collective unit. And we still have to do our repair on Ben's hut because that is still missing. So there is a lot to do around the Tatooine MOC.
Yeah, and that is not the final installation of the Sarlaac pit. I'm going to be building another Sarlaac pit, a couple of new skiffs, so that's to come as well.
Exactly. Like we said, there is a little bit of a built-up gap there you can already see back there. We're going to continue that along and down through there. That will give us 2 gaps up for that entire area to build a proper Sarlaac pit. So that is going to be super interesting to watch. So hopefully that will be out soon. You know what they say? The do-licker do be licking the do off the do-back's back, dough.
Well, that's going to do it for this week. As Assistant said, we're going to be working on Tatooine. We got more Clone Wars to come. We also have the brand new Series 27 minifigures. We have to open those as well. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe so you don't miss any of that good stuff. I'm Leaky Trooper. We'll see you in the next one. I'm out of here, and bye.